Good morning, good morning. It's Gundy with Best Bet Trades. I want to show you guys how I mark out my liquidity, how I find it, how I mark it, all that good stuff. It's going to be a really quick video, so let's just get right into it. So right here, as you can see, you want to mark off the sessions. You want to mark off the US session, the Asian session, and the London session. The Asian session over here is at 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Asian is 8 p.m. to 4 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and London is 4 a.m. to 8 a.m. Now you want to mark off these sessions with a vertical line. So you want to go to the 30-minute time period, right? This is how I find out my liquidity. So I go over here, get a vertical line, come down here to the vertical line. As you can see, I already have my 8 a.m. for Friday's session, US session. So I'll go to 20, which is 8 p.m. I'll go to 4 a.m. and I'll do 8 a.m. again. Boom. Alright, now don't mind all the other stuff, guys. Here, let me actually just to make it easier for you guys so you guys could see it a little better. Alright, these are the highs, these are the lows. So what I do is I come over here, grab a box or rectangle, and I do the highs and the lows of each session. As you can see, here was the lows here, came up, tried to grab the liquidity from here, but hit that resistance, and then came back and took out the liquidity. So I'll go to rectangle and I'll go from the top of the wick of the session to the body of the candle. So just like this, guys. Boom. That's liquidity. Now, as you can see, this liquidity from, what was this, Thursday, the high on Thursday didn't get hit. It didn't get ran through. So what I do is I take this and I just pull it over because the liquidity still lies there. Now, as you can see, this came back. So this is the high, Friday's high. This is Friday's low. Boom. Take another box. Rectangle, come down, go over. There's your liquidity. And as you can see, some of these have been swept through already, so I just get rid of it. So here's the highs of this session. As you can see, there's liquidity right here. This one's been ran through already, so I'm just gonna boom. So come here. This is the Asian session high. Right here, from the top of the wick to the body on the highs. So obviously here's the high, here's a high from the top of the sessions, US session, Asian session, London session, US session. So it goes, those are the only sessions we're targeting. US session, Asian session, London session, US session, Asian session, London session. That's the pattern. See, as you can see, it already been swept. So what I do is, so here's the lows right here. Boom. So I'll go right here, right there. As you can see, boom. Right now, see how see how there was a low liquidity right here, but it was already swept. So I just don't put that one on there. And then what I do is, so that's the 30-minute time period. Go to the 5-minute. That's where you're gonna make all your entries and exits at. Okay, so you want to see liquidity sweep, break a structure, pull back, and then we target the next liquidity. Okay, so boom, there's your session's highs and your session lows. As you can see, here's a session low. There's liquidity right here. Boom, session highs and liquidity. So now also I want you guys to understand that if it hasn't been ran through, then you just keep pulling the box over. So like, bear with me. If you see liquidity below it, you want to go. So right now, obviously, we had a sweep of liquidity. We're looking for a break of structure and then a pullback to go long to take out these fair value gaps. Oh, this liquidity above. Now this could come up here. This could come up here. Once it breaks here, I'm going to look for a pullback and then I'm going to go long. That's just the way it is. That's how I mark out my liquidity. And that's pretty much it, guys. That's how you mark out your liquidities. The highs and the lows of each session. So as you can see, here's a session high right here. Boom. Even though the liquidity didn't get it. So what I'll do is I'll go back to the 30-minute. Sometimes it's a little bit harder to see on the 30-minute time period. So what I'll do is right here is the low highs. See that? So what I'll do is, since this liquidity is real close to it, I'll just add it together. Boom, 2 liquidities in one, right? Because they kind of match up with each other. See how that's the highs? So here's liquidity right here. It came and swept it. Okay, here's the lows, right? So, and that's why I always go back to the 5-minute, because it's hard to see sometimes. So what I'll do is I'll do this. Boom. Because on 8 o'clock, that whole candle on the 30-minute, I'm not going to count that. I'm just going to count the London low. See the London low right here? See how it swept liquidity is making its support? We're looking for a breaker structure to the upside. Where's a breaker structure to the upside? Right here. If a candle closes above it, we'll wait for a pullback. We'll enter here and we'll ride it up to fill all these fair value gaps and hit this liquidity. That's pretty much it, guys. That's just how you mark out your liquidity. Don't mind all the drawings and stuff. Obviously, all the lines. It gets a little confusing. That's just the way my chart is. But like I said, so you just mark out the highs and the lows. Here's the lows. Here's the highs. So New York session. Here's the highs. Here's the lows. So you mark it out. Boom, boom. Asian session. Here's the lows. Here's the highs. Marked it out. Boom, boom. The more you mark it out and see that it pretty much goes from liquidity to liquidity, but it does respect macro levels, support and resistance levels. So here's the low. I didn't mark it because I marked it on this side, and here's the high. So you mark out these highs and the lows, and you'll see it pretty much go from liquidity to liquidity. That's pretty much what it does.